Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Melanin Margin, the weekly chat show where conversations about race are never off the table. We're your hosts, Quaviondre Williams.
And Daquon Wilson.
So let's get into this week's conversation. What's hot on the table this week?
In an article written on NPR by Emma Bowman, we learned that Viola Davis has achieved EGOT status after picking up her first Grammy. The 57-year-old actor won the award for the Best Audiobook, Narration, and Storytelling Recording for her memoir, Finding Me, at the 2023 Grammy Awards premiere ceremony on Sunday, ahead of the main awards show. The honor follows her Emmy win for How to Get Away with Murder, an Oscar for Fences, and a Tony for both King Hedley II and Fences. She's only the third Black woman to claim EGOT status and the 18th person to receive the honor overall. In her acceptance speech, Davis said, quote, "I wrote this book to honor the 6-year-old Viola, to honor her life, her joy, her trauma, her everything. And it has been such a journey. I just EGOT," end quote. So, Andre, I want to ask you, do you think that there's any dream that's too big to achieve?
Bitch, absolutely the fuck not.
Period.
As cliche as it sounds, I don't really believe in dreaming too big. Like, if there is even the slightest possibility that it can happen, then in my mind, it happened. It's available. It's achievable. I think that if we let our doubts hold us back from trying to chase our dreams, then yes, the dream has indeed become too big for us. Like, it all has to do with your perception of your dreams, because as we all know, perception shapes how we see the world. There are so many factors that determine whether or not we achieve the highest of high of our dreams, whether it be social status or networking connections, opportunities, location, luck, whatever. But I think that when you believe that you can achieve a dream and actively work towards trying to make that dream a reality, then there is nothing stopping you from getting there in some form or another. Like, we've talked about this before on the show, but when you start to differentiate what success looks like for you and what people will see as success for you, then you'll be happier for it. For example, Daquon and I wanted to create a podcast where we could speak on race and social issues that will hopefully give another voice to uplifting and spotlighting marginalized communities. Our dreams for what we want and where we want to go with this show are big. We want to do live streams, have more fan engagement, get a producer for the show, level up and keep growing. I mean, those goals are very much so achievable. But even at this stage where we are right now, we are already successful because we are doing the thing that we wanted to do from the beginning, which is create a space to talk about issues that matter to the both of us. Now, regardless of where this show goes in the future or how far we get to those milestones we hope to cross one day, we're still very proud of the work that we've done and the work that we are doing and the work that we will do in the future. Not everyone is able to do what they love each day. So if you are able to do what you love, you've already achieved a massive success in that ability alone. Now, I try not to lowball what I'm capable of or what I'm capable of achieving, because the moment you decide that you can't achieve something is the moment that you will close the door to any possibility that you will. And as difficult as it is sometimes, and as stressful as it can be, try your best to avoid telling yourself that you can't achieve something, because bitch, I really do sound like a Disney movie right now. But when you really believe in yourself, and I mean really believe that you are that girl, there's no telling what feats you could accomplish. But Daquon, before I break out into a musical number about believing in yourself, he asked you,
do you believe?
Do you think that there's any dream that's too big to achieve?
No, not at all. I think that you can do what you put your mind to. I know it's so cliche to say, but it's the truth. Like,
Yes.
if one of my favorite quotes is by Marion Wright Edelman. She says that you can't be what you can't see. And I think that works on a lot of different levels. One is talking about representation and making sure that we have representation so that people can see who they want to be. But I also think that it works in the realm of like manifesting and visualization. you cannot achieve that dream if you just think, oh, it's too big, I can't do that. Because you're not spending time visualizing what it means to have that dream come true, what it means to have the steps in place to get to that dream. So you need to be able to have that dream, see what that dream entails. What does it take to get to where you need to be so that dream can be fulfilled? And all of that just comes down to believing in yourself and believing in your craft. I know for me, there have been times when I have been doubtful about my abilities. I have been doubtful about my skills, but I needed to be my own biggest fan. I needed to believe in me, because if I don't believe in myself, why should anybody else believe in me? And so when you see all of these stories, like, there are people who come from all different types of humble beginnings. There are
Yeah.
people who literally are, homeless. They grew up without any money. They have all of these trials and tribulations that they go through, and then they still are able to achieve such huge things. And I'm not trying to use that as like some inspiration porn or anything like that. It's just the truth. There are people who have, suffered all of these different types of, things, and they're still able to achieve because they could dream. They had that idea. They nurtured it. They cultivated what it means to be successful. And when you think about your success every day, it becomes clearer and clearer, and that dream moves more and more into reality. And you realize, hey, this was this big dream that I had, but now I have this skill that makes this dream even easier to achieve. Now I'm closer in terms of where I want to be geographically in order to make this dream come true. So it's all about not only that big dream, but also seeing those small steps to get to where you want to get to.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think that there is also no time limit on chasing your dreams. Like, I know I've been guilty of comparing myself to what other people my age are doing with their lives or where they are in the process of chasing their dreams, but I really have to check myself regularly. I think many of us tend to think of life as a metaphorical race with achievement checkpoints you're supposed to hit at a certain time in your life. But I've had to do some work to unlearn this ideology. There is no standard age or point in your life where certain checkpoints should be met. The way that I like to think about it is from a quote I heard from a show called Queer as Folk from the character Lindsay Peterson. She said, quote, "My house has many rooms. I occupy but a few. The rest go unvisited." Now, think of your life as a massive house with hundreds of thousands of rooms filled with different paths that you can take in your life, and you have the keys to every single one of them. There's a door for every possibility, every goal that you want to meet, everything that you want to do. However, it's your decision whether or not you pick up the key and open the door to walk through it. For example, I know I would probably make a great parent, but I have zero aspirations to have children. Now, the room where I could be a parent is still available to explore in my metaphorical house, but I have no interest in entering that room at any point in my life, so it will remain locked and unvisited. Now, bringing it back to the point, people have defied odds across all ages to chase their dreams. And I think you touched on that a little bit too, Daquon. Like, people were told that they were too old to get a degree and have graduated on universities with honors. People who were told that they wouldn't live past certain ages have lived long, healthy lives until ripe old ages. And people who were told that they could never be parents have had children and even grandchildren. And while some of these things could be considered, outliers or miracles, the fact remains that there is always a possibility that you can achieve your wildest dreams as long as you're still alive. And hell, sometimes after you've long gone, your dreams are still brought to life. Never stop fighting for your dreams and never give up on them, because even when it looks like you've waited too long or it's too late, you can never put a time frame on when your dreams will be achieved. It can happen at any time, any place, at any stage in your life. But Daquon, do you think that there's a time limit?
Not at all. And I think that, the era of social media has put this pressure on us because we have the viewing of so many people doing all of these different things being so young. Like, imagine all of the social media stars who are, you know, in their early 20s with millions of fans and got all of this money and success and whatever, and they've achieved so much in so little time. It's like, wow, like I'm 24, like
Yeah.
where's my, you know, millions of followers, X, Y, and Z? And it's like, sometimes you just need to take a step back and realize that, like, you have so much time. You have
Yes.
so much time to get to where you want to get to. And why rush to get to where your dream is versus enjoying the process? Because I think that when you enjoy the process, it makes that achievement taste so much better. It makes it just feel so much better because you're like, wow, like I really did that. I did X, Y, Z to get here, and now I'm finally here. And you also have to realize that for so many people, success doesn't come until later in their life. Like Viola Davis herself, a lot of her big roles didn't come into when she was well in her 30s and 40s. Morgan Freeman didn't really get his first big break until he was 50. So there are plenty of stories of people who, you know, may have been quote unquote late bloomers or achieved success later in life, and they still have been able to do huge things even after they became successful. So there's no time limit on when you can achieve certain things. Any day is a day to start. Any day could be that big break, but you're not going to know until you start, and you're not going to know until you just keep going day by day by day. Like I said before, you have to really focus on those small steps. Like, yes, your dream is big and it's out there, but you need to focus on what you need to do today to get to there. And then the timeline will play out however it needs to play out. But you need to focus on what you need to do, because at the end of the day, that dream will come to fruition when you're ready. And I think that's the part that a lot of people don't understand, is that sometimes they want all the success, but they're not ready for that success.